Food, the single most important commodity we often take for granted in our daily lives. For many, the sharing of a meal is a luxury. Yet, for millions living in impoverished parts of the world, it is a daily struggle. A struggle for survival, a struggle of life, and sometimes death. This truth becomes even more pertinent as time progresses and global population booms. It is anticipated that the Earth's population will increase to 9.7 billion people by the year 2050, and 70% of them will be living in bustling cities with virtually no space to spare. Over time, standards of living will improve, and so will our tastes. Our need for better quality livestock will increase as well. How do we maintain this level of consumption? Existing farmers and livestock producers will then need to boost their production output by between 70 to 100% just to meet the expected demand. Feeding the population then will be an enormous yet ultimately important challenge. Are we ready? And even if we are, will our efforts be sustainable? This is a global problem, one that requires committed international participation from all sectors and nations. One such nation readying itself for the task is Indonesia. Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world, at 256 million people spread out over 17,000 islands of its archipelago. Due to the geography of the region, its land is one of the most fertile in the world, with current gazetted agricultural land amounting to almost 32% of its land mass. And that number is growing. For you see, Indonesia is presently a key global player in the agribusiness arena with greater growth plans underway. In fact, it has 36.8 million hectares more of prime agricultural land with which it can apply its expertise to become the future food bank for the region and even the world. This plan is a great growth proposition as well for the nation, for its people, and for its investors. In 1973, the National Federation of Rural Cooperative of Indonesia, or Indokaude, was formed to nurture the agricultural business via the implementation of sustainable measures such as fertilizer subsidies, education and training, expansion of joint business ventures, and overall development in various aspects of the industry. Today, this co-op consists of 13 million members from 9,437 branches throughout Indonesia. Collectively, more than 60 million people in total, or 25% of the country's population, support the cooperative way. And yet, with this existing vast network of support and manpower, Indokaude still has more to offer. Now, they want to do it bigger, better, and more efficiently.
Kaude ini kita mesti berbicara tentang visi dan misi. Ya. Baru kita bicara tentang program jangka pendek dan jangka panjang. Visi Indokaude adalah kami ingin mewujudkan Indokaude ini dan jaringannya sebagai salah satu pelaku utama dalam perekonomian nasional maupun global. Itu vision kita.
Working with local and foreign expert consultants, as well as technical specialists and key business enterprises from neighboring countries such as China, Taiwan, Malaysia, and more, Indokaude intends to meet and surpass the sustainable food goals of the future. Phase 1 of the growth plan, which is currently underway, includes cassava crop cultivation, the creation of 1 million hectares of virgin plantation sites for the propagation of cassava plants, as well as the building and implementing of 150 cassava starch factories. The first stage sees the clearing and development of 100,000 hectares of virgin arable land on Bangka Island, as well as the setting up of 15 cassava starch processing plants, each with a capacity to yield 200 metric tons daily. The second stage of this effort sees the continued development of approximately 900,000 hectares of arable land throughout Indonesia. To cater to this growth, a further 135 starch processing plants will be established as well. Aquaculture and fisheries development. The establishment of 100,000 hectares of eco-aquaculture projects featuring both marine and freshwater fisheries, aquaculture, as well as environmental and ecological projects at Bangka Island. Overseeing this endeavor is the Center of Aquaculture Research and Education, a collaborative project between Indocaude and FFRC. The center provides research data and guidance for the sustainable management, farming, and conservation of Indonesia's fish and other aquatic food supply resources. This will eventually improve productivity, create more employment opportunities, and boost overall income of approximately 1 million co-op members within the span of 3 to 5 years. Our other projects are the development of a sustainable tuna fishing industry at North Maluku. By building 10,000 commercial fishing boats and fish processing plants, Indonesia can effectively trawl the waters of its vast archipelago, from which it can supply the world with top-quality tuna fish. This scale of operation currently makes Indonesia the largest tuna-producing country in the world. Industrialized poultry farming and egg production. Design and implementation of 500 environmentally friendly palm oil and biomass power generation plants. Rejuvenation of old and existing oil drilling enterprises. E-commerce drive, which aims to introduce and train cooperative members on current e-commerce and online trading strategies. Improved banking and finance operations in all 9,437 branches for the betterment of the rural communities and co-op members. And lastly, develop industrial townships and infrastructure development programs to support the mainstream ideology for growth into the 2050s. These initiatives are key in Indocaude's quest to promote sustainable agricultural practices, promote environmental conservation, provide gainful employment to the poor, improve income and living standards of existing members of the cooperative, and most importantly, provide future generations with a sustainable business model so that they too may flourish. And like any business model, capital investment is key. Realizing this, Indocaude have chosen to partner with Duke Capital Limited to helm its fundraising activities. Duke Capital is an agribusiness private equity firm with interests in agriculture management and agribusiness supply chain ventures in emerging markets. By leveraging on the framework of the Belt and Road initiatives and improving trade relations with China and Asia-Pacific countries, Duke Capital, through its Duke Trust Master Fund, aims to invest in ventures that are in keeping with the blueprints of the cooperative's current and future agribusiness plans. It is envisioned that with proper funding, management and research, Duke Capital, together with Indocaude and other trading partners, will see mutually profitable growth for the agribusiness industry in Indonesia and in the Asia-Pacific region. So join us today as we cross the threshold into the future of sustainable business, agribusiness.